All right, let's get into it. Tonight, we're taking a walk into a world of smoke and steel, a world of shadows. We're going to uncover the origin of a word you think you know, all through this strange kind of ghostly noir parable set right in the heart of the machine age. This is the story of the Gremlin.
So, picture this. It's 1920s London. The air is thick, the buildings look like they're clawing at the sky, and the whole city just hums with this constant sound of new technology. What's so fascinating here is this collision of two worlds. You've got this ancient, almost forgotten Old English word, Gremlin, smashing right into the modern, loud, oily world of engines and gears. And that's the ghost we're chasing. Gremlin. An ancient word for vexation that, somehow found itself perfectly, even terrifyingly at home in this new mechanical world. It's really a story about how old fears never truly die. They just find new machines to haunt.
Okay, so let's start with Act 1, the City of Gears. This is where we meet our main guy, a man caught right between his toolbox and the darkness. This is Elias. Now, he's not your typical hero or detective. He's a mechanic. But like any good noir protagonist, he's haunted. Not by some crime, but by a feeling. This persistent, almost personal hostility coming from the very machines he's paid to fix. It feels like everything he touches is just determined to break.
So how did this very personal haunting get a name? Well, that brings us to Act 2, a shadow in the cockpit.
You have to remember, in the early days of flying, pilots were dealing with constant, totally inexplicable problems. An engine that sputters for no reason, a fuel line that freezes over. So, to cope, they gave this invisible tormentor a name, the Gremlin. It was a phantom born from that tension between a pilot's nerve and his failing machine.
And this brings us right back to our ghost word, Gremlin. See, it's a verb, it's an action, and its definition is literally the Gremlin's entire mission statement. To provoke, to vex, to agitate. It's not just about breaking things, it's about getting under your skin.
So for Elias, back in that dark hangar, this wasn't just some pilot's tall tale. This Gremlin was the perfect noir villain. Why? Because it had no grand plan. It didn't want money or power. It just wanted to watch him get frustrated. It literally fed on his agitation.
This realization leads us straight to the turning point of our whole story. Act 3, the sabotage of composure. You can just imagine Elias working late into the night, wrestling with some stubborn engine, and he finally has to ask himself, what's the end game here? What does this shadow, this spirit of malfunction, actually want from me?
And that's when it hits him. The Gremlin's target wasn't the machine at all. That was just the tool, the weapon. The real target was the mechanic. Its goal wasn't a broken engine, it was a broken mind. It wanted to absolutely shatter his composure.
This changes everything. Elias suddenly understands he's not fighting a technical problem anymore. He's in a psychological war. The hangar isn't just a workshop. It's the stage for this gothic battle for his own sanity.
So, armed with this new insight, we enter Act 4, where Elias has to confront something he calls the spirit of no. So what does he do? He puts down the wrench. He actually stops fighting the machine. He finally recognizes the Gremlin for what it really is, the spirit of no. It's that little voice that just says, it won't work. It's entropy, the universe's tendency toward chaos, but given a face and a mean-spirited personality.
And here's another piece of the puzzle, another old word, the Old English noun grom. It just means hostility. And that's it. That's the exact feeling Elias had been fighting all along, this sense of active hostility from a world of objects that simply refuse to cooperate.
This brings us to the climax, the main event, Act 5, the mechanical exorcism.
So how do you exorcise a demon like this? Well, it's not with force. It's with this strange kind of acceptance. Step 1, you stop fighting. Step 2, you acknowledge the frustration. You just let yourself feel it. Step 3, and this is the absolute key, you refuse to let that frustration boil over into rage. And when you do that, you get to the final step. You rob the Gremlin of all its power. So the moment Elias accepts that, yeah, things break, the world is fundamentally flawed, he feels the shadow's grip just loosen. But the Gremlin doesn't disappear in a puff of smoke. Not at all. It just becomes background noise, a static hum. It's still there, but it doesn't have any power over him anymore.
And that brings us to our final act, Act 6, Haunted by the Machine.
As the sun comes up, Elias turns the key, and the engine starts. Now, it's not a perfect start. It comes with this little cough of blue smoke, but it works. The battle is over, and he won. Not by fixing the machine, but by fixing his relationship with its brokenness.
And that's really the whole point of the story, isn't it? The Gremlin of the 1920s, it's the missing link. It is the bridge that connects an ancient, superstitious fear of these malicious spirits to our very modern, technical term for a system error, the glitch.
And that leaves us with one last kind of haunting thought. We can build these incredible machines, we can fly, we can reach for the sky, but that spirit of vexation, that Gremlin, is always going to be there. It's a silent partner in everything we try to do, just waiting in the wings for us to get frustrated, to get agitated, and to finally lose our cool in the face of a glitch.